What's good, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of the Broadcast Boys podcast. We are back. Podcast dropping every week. Make sure you like and subscribe, because if you're here and you're not subscribed and you're not liking, then what the fuck are you doing?
Did you know that 75% of viewers are not subscribed?
Gets me tight when I hear that.
I'm not even sure if that's factually correct. It's probably higher.
Probably
I learned
higher.
that sort of statistical detail from King of the Fourth Quarter. And if y'all not subscribed to him, that's even worse of an offense.
The Prince of YouTube, Kenny Beecham.
I was just
Shout out my
with
boy.
Kenny Beecham in Salt Lake City for All-Star Weekend. What an experience. Maybe the worst possible city to host All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend is one of the better weekends of the year, but to have it in Salt Lake City was pretty underwhelming, to say the least.
If there were no mountains in that city, it might be the most depressing place in the world. And as it stands, it's already top 10.
Also, I kind of thought it was funny that they had an Afrobeat show at the whitest place in the world.
I know. Something just was off about that. It didn't feel right.
It was so funny.
They didn't even do that when they actually played the game in Africa.
Yeah, nah, I don't know. I don't know. I love the halftime show personally. Shout out Burna Boy. Shout out Thames. Everybody involved. But it was just so funny that they chose Salt Lake City to showcase. Hey, yo, we're gonna do Afro Beats halftime show. We're gonna show love to the culture. Make sure that everyone gets hyped on everything. But then they did it in Salt Lake City.
This would be like having Nickelback perform in Houston.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Mozart in Pompano, Florida.
Beethoven in Canarsie, Brooklyn.
It makes no sense. And so I actually got one of those trivia questions wrong with Chris White. I said, where's Pop Smoke from? But I was so delirious, I thought Canarsie was in Queens.
Oh, no.
And I embarrassed myself in front of Big Hooli.
Yeah, nah.
But I allowed him to stay on no matter
How
what
dare
happened.
you? Chris White?
Oh, he was
We can't have him thinking anything but good things about us, Luke. You got to clean that up.
I would say it's safe to say that no one was really feeling the actual game too much, including the players. First of all, the coach said it was the worst game that's ever been played.
Mike Malone.
Jaylen Brown said that wasn't basketball. Even 10 years ago, I thought they weren't trying, but this has gone to a whole new level. That was absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I mean, it kind of fits with the theme of me kind of feeling like NBA players are like babies these days. You know what I mean? Like, they just are very much like, I'm going to do what I want. And no one can tell me anything because I'm under contract. And, like, that shit is whack to me because, like, you're going to the All-Star game. These people are paying mad money to fly out to Salt Lake. And if they're from there, they're paying mad money to buy these tickets to these games. And then they got to watch that? I seen runs at Chelsea Piers better than that.
Who was
Chelsea
saying?
Piers is New York version of LA Fitness for people.
I believe Stephen A. Smith said they play harder in their summer pickup games or summer pro-ams than the All-Star game, so that's just unacceptable.
Yeah,
This may
for
get
real.
cut. David Stern would be going crazy right now.
Yeah, David
if he
Stern
saw the
wouldn't
state of
be-
the
wouldn't be
league.
fucking with this at all. Adam
the
Silver
trades.
needs to puff his chest out. Let him know.
And Pierre from Through the Wire also said it's cool these days to not try, and I really don't like that because if I'm playing a game, I'm trying so hard and I'm trash. So if I was amazing, I would always go hard.
Everyone was just trying to look real cool, and like there was some cool plays. That back and forth with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown was dope.
That was the highlight. If that's the highlight, I mean, Tim Hardaway, Deion Waiters in the Rising Stars, 8 years ago, was way better than that.
Yeah, that was better than that.
That should not be the case at all. They're shimmy shaking back and forth. But I have a few ideas. Not to perfect the All-Star game, but maybe to improve the weekend just a little bit. So I'm going to read these. Some of them are trash. Some of them I would say are pretty genius.
Okay, I'll tell you if they're.
You're going to let me know what you think. Also, keep in mind that 95% will never happen and are totally unrealistic.
All right, let's get it.
All right. It's not all about the game. It's just about the weekend. First things first. I believe I presented this to you already. A 3-point contest featuring the worst shooters in the league.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, I think that'd be great.
So we get Dwight Howard, Mason Plumlee, DeAndre Jordan. I feel like they'll either embarrass themselves or the viewing public will be shocked at just how skilled they really are.
Let me tell you something. The reason why I know that is a great idea, because that Kevin Hart versus Draymond 3-point contest was box office. Like, that was mad fun to see, like, someone, Draymond, who can't really shoot. Let's be honest. You could do everything else, four rings, but you can't really shoot. And then Kevin Hart, who shouldn't be able to outshoot an NBA player. So that was just really cool to see that, because Kevin Hart won, right?
Yeah, they're one or they. I believe he did win.
I think he won or they tied. Either way, that shouldn't be the case.
So maybe you could pair up a bad 3-point shooter with a celebrity and try to go head to head. I mean, no one would ever accept this. It's so embarrassing.
Drake, I think, would do well.
Unless they want to prove themselves, like Dwight Howard is playing in Taiwan, doing the 3-point shootout.
Yeah.
Okay, next, so you like that one.
Yeah.
The next idea is revolutionary. Just totally scrap the game. And book some sort of gym, somewhere they all agree upon. No fans allowed. Keep it an enclosed pickup game. And they just play.
So
For a lot of money. Fuck the charity. Everyone's putting up a lot of money. They're playing in a pickup game, and you're just watching like it was a YouTube video, like a 2 Hype basketball takeover in a gym. No one is there. Everyone is mic'd up. Would that not be 1,000 times of a better product? Granted, it takes away all the fans, which is the entire point of All-Star Weekend.
That's what I was about to say. For the game's sake, yeah, that would be cool, but I still think it's up to the players to want to try hard. And if they're not getting up to try hard in front of thousands of fans, I think that they're going to go in the gym and just take mad. It'll be the same shit.
They should hold this game in the summer, scrap the All-Star game. Let all the players go on vacation.
Yeah, maybe do All-Star Weekend and just have it be like mad gamified, like a bunch of silly little events and stuff like that, but save like a big-ass pickup game of all the stars for the summertime when they're all training.
For the off-season.
Yeah, why not?
But
That could be
no
cool.
one's talking about NBA for at least a month or two.
And maybe like competitive juices will get flowing in a gym when nobody's watching because they're going to be able to talk how they want. But if they know they're mic'd up, maybe they won't.
They somehow need to be tricked into not knowing that they're televised, mic'd up, and everyone knows they each have millions of dollars on the line.
Yeah, because those Brickley runs are mad fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going that hard, but they're going a little hard.
That's why I'm like, Jason Tatum scored 55 points, most in All-Star game history.
It doesn't mean anything.
Not impressive to
It
me.
means nothing.
For him to go out there and basically just take open jump shots, throw it off the glass to himself with no defense.
I don't know the last time a scoring record in the All-Star game was impressive. I can't
Steph
remember.
Curry.
Oh, just because he was draining from long range?
15 or 16 threes it was.
True.
That's
He was
pretty
also
crazy.
shooting wide open jump shots too, though.
I know, but threes are hard.
They were more spectacular.
Yeah, threes, like shooting from as deep as he was is
Okay,
hard.
I want to grab the most elite NBA children to a Fisher-Price dunk contest before the dunk contest. It's cute. It would get so many eyeballs. How viral would that go? All over socials.
Who's the four that you got in the dunk contest?
Well, I don't really know NBA kids right now because they're all of a sudden 16. All right, we'll go Cannon Curry, Deuce Tatum, Kyan Randall.
Caden Randall.
Oh, Caden Randall.
Zion is Melo's son.
Then give me one more. It doesn't matter who.
What about Riley?
Did you not see the photo of her
Yeah,
recently?
she's like wild old.
Yeah,
now,
no,
right?
I'm talking. You got to be 6 and under to play in this.
All
Dunk
right, out of
contest.
Fisher Price hoop.
Yeah, Fisher Price dunk contest before the dunk contest.
Well, Deuce Tatum obviously got to be in it. He's the most box office child in the league right now.
So is this adding an element that you want to see in the All-Star game at all?
I mean,
Or slightly?
like slightly. Like I guess like that would be cool.
Everyone's going to get 10s for anything. That was what I like about it.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Imagine Deuce Tatum winning the dunk contest, then 20 years later when he's in the league, he puts back on that same jersey as a callback and does the same dunk on a 10-foot rim.
Yeah, you really thought about this. I respect that.
Next up, divide the game into old heads versus young buck all-stars. So I guess voting is kind of scrapped out the window, and there's only 2 sections you can do for over 30 and under 30.
I think that would be. I mean, the over.
And then you battle for supremacy.
How many of them are over 30 though?
That's the thing. You'd have to limit the pool. That means not everyone that should make it would make it. You know, you have to vote for a certain group over an age and under an age.
Okay.
So
who
we'll
are
be
the best players
basically-
over 30? Braun, Kawhi, PG, Steph
Steph?
Curry.
They'd have a
Klay
team.
Thompson's over 30. Yeah,
They'd have a team.
They'd have a team.
Dame,
Dame.
probably
Yeah.
CJ.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
But then the Young Bucks go crazy.
Yeah, but would the Young Bucks try? Maybe this would make them try.
That's true because the old heads will have something to prove, and then they both have something to prove. Wait, this is the best one yet. This is the best one yet. Young Bucks versus the old heads because the old heads want to be Young Bucks, and the Young Bucks don't want to be sunned by the old heads. So they're really going to go blow for blow.
You got to give them a reason to play. If I was an NBA player, I would never want to go to All-Star Weekend. I'm missing out on my vacation.
Yeah.
But if I'm facing a bunch of old geezers that say they're better than me, now I got something to fight for, something to prove.
And you know what? And I'm sorry if this is on your list, but along those lines, Team World versus the Americans.
War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
No,
TJ Lavin.
But not just War of the Worlds. I want America, Europe, South America, Africa.
Oh, so
4-team
like-
tournament.
I mean, that would be super fire. I didn't even think about going that deep into it because then it's like a bracket type of thing.
War of the Worlds is
round
also-
robin, double elimination.
Because then you're really expanding. Then people are really trying to put a
But then-
show out for their country.
That's a lot of games to play in one weekend.
No, it would be like how they do Rising Stars.
Oh,
Yeah.
like quarters.
Yeah,
okay,
mini
like small
games.
mini games. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. But also at the same time, if we just do like USA versus everybody else, if you stack those five, like the starting fives against each other, they look really, really formidable. Because
do-
they, on the world team, Giannis, Jokic,
Luka. I mean, they're better.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Canadian.
They're better.
They're are they though?
No, we get North
Joel
America.
Embiid.
We get North Americans.
We get North Americans.
Yeah, we get
All right,
North
that's
Americans.
fair. So we get Shea. And then
You
on
know
the
what?
American side,
Canada could be its own team, though. That's the thing. Another wrinkle. Canada has its old damn starting five for sure. Wiggins, Shea, Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I mean you can make a starting five, but they wouldn't compete with the rest of these guys.
All right, so let's show our dominance.
I guess
This also brings back
America
this also
first.
does bring back patriotism. It's like World Cup vibes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why if you want to put stakes on it, America loves to fucking show the rest of the world how dope we are. But at the same time, the Europeans are stacked, bro. Or not the Europeans, the whole world is stacked.
They're so nice, and they're not going to play the all-star way. They don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
They've never seen AAU. They only know how to play the way the game was meant to be played. Unselfish.
Because the NBA and basketball is such a global game, I think I like your idea better of making it like regional. You know what I'm saying? North America, South America, Europe, Africa would be really.
If you really even want to get into it, you could do within America. You could do East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, South.
Yeah,
West Coast would go crazy.
I'm a big proponent for the NBA just doing like a complete fantasy season. Just like release all the players into a fucking pool and just shake it all up and split it up somewhere fun like that. They'll never do it because tradition never graduates.
Okay. Next idea on the list. What always goes crazy during the Olympics, people love watching them play King of the Court, just one-on-one. They're not putting in maximum effort, but they're definitely exerting themselves a little bit. So simply one-on-one King of the Court.
Yeah.
Maybe first to 21.
Yeah, one-on-one tournament like that where all the players are kind of there and they pop in and out.
3 dribbles. Therefore, you're limiting the amount of work they have to do at the same time, but we'll still be impressed.
Right.
They're not going to miss a shot.
And then also guards wouldn't be at a severe advantage.
True. I mean, you also could do separate brackets as well, guards and big men.
Yeah, but 3 dribble is a great equalizer.
True.
Because that's free throw line extended and below.
I mean, Jokic just still can back down anyone in 3 dribbles.
Yeah, I feel like Embiid is 1-2 fade away every time and it's over.
I mean, we could also limit dunks though. I like that. King of the court, no paint.
Ooh, everything outside of paint, so it's like a jump shot.
You can take like a little 8-foot, 10-footer, but
floaters.
nothing.
Float me.
Nothing under the circle though, under the charge circle.
Okay.
That's better than the All-Star game, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, so far everything that you said is more entertaining to me than the All-Star game.
Ooh, this one I really like.
This particular All-Star game.
Shout out Turner Sports. What the broadcast was on fire.
I didn't know that Inside the NBA was doing a secondary broadcast. I watched that one over the other one.
I had no idea they did that either. Okay, this one I really like. The skills challenge, it's not bad, but it could use some revamping. How often have we seen these guys play basketball? I don't need to really see them play more basketball. Make the skills challenge all sports. So you start off, LeBron has to throw a football into a tire. Then he grabs a lacrosse stick and he has to cradle all the way up the court. Then he has to score a penalty kick on a high school goalie. Next up, he has to throw an ultimate frisbee into a target. Then he has to swim a lap. Then he has to run track.
He has to swim a lap.
So essentially, it's like an Apache relay, all sports besides basketball. I would have to figure out the exact order of operations, but I think this has great potential.
I think that's good. I don't see that being an NBA All-Star.
I mean, none of these are ever going to be anything.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm trying to think whether or not it could work, and just because like no NBA player is going to want to do that.
Football, toss it into the tire. Do a softball until you hit a home run.
Okay.
What else did I say? I like the lacrosse cradling, and I like the penalty kick. Don't you want to see them do other shit? I'm always curious how good they could be.
NBA players are very gifted athletes, but I don't see any NBA player being able to cradle a lacrosse stick.
It's not hard. Anyone could do it.
I can't do that shit.
You could. It's momentum. It's physics. I don't want to see them dribbling through cones. What is the skills challenge?
I watched it, and it was hilarious to see how bad some of them were at it.
Who was bad?
The Antetokounmpos. Giannis didn't participate, so Drew Holiday filled in. But watching Thanasis and I think it was Alex, watching them shoot the basketball was pretty fucking tragic.
They can't shoot?
No.
They're probably too broad. They're too big. This one is just a 2-on-2, kind of what Bleacher Report tried to do, but it would be Drake and Devin Booker versus, I'm thinking Chris Brown and Jay Crowder to even out, because Chris Brown is so much better than Drake that you need Devin Booker to balance out Jay Crowder. So basically, pair Drake up with an NBA player against Chris Brown and someone else. It's a hip-hop basketball rivalry game.
Fans really going to give a fuck about that?
You don't think fans want to watch Drake and Devin Booker play Chris Brown? And Jay Crowder?
Jay Crowder?
Well, Chris Brown is so good. I'm trying to make the matchup fair. It doesn't need to be Jay Crowder. It could be anyone. It could be another star. Okay. Let's say Chris Paul.
Yeah, I mean, that would be watching Chris Brown and Drake play is worth the ticket alone.
On that note, it was the same as the NBA King of the Court, but just with rappers and celebrities. King of the Court was celebs.
That'd be great. That's how you revamp the Celebrity All-Star game. Even though this one was kind of dope.
I didn't really watch much of it besides...
I've seen the highlights, but The Miz almost made magic happen.
It's true. And Jesser had a great take on Albert Pujols. Did you see that move?
No, I missed that.
I didn't see him score anything, but I saw a highlight on TikTok. He had a great drive, blew by Albert Pujols and hung in the air for a nice layup.
All right. I told you, Jessica hoop a little bit.
Yeah, but he was not going for the MVP. He's too humble.
No, definitely too humble. Also, I think it's fucking hilarious that Albert Pujols was in that shit. That's a very random.
They also did a lookalike camera in the celebrity game in Simu. I don't know how to pronounce his name. You saw that? Way to go, Utah.
Yeah, Utah with some boneheaded bullshit like that. Simu went out there, had a great time, and then had to look up and see that nonsense. They didn't even look alike at all. It wasn't even, like, you couldn't even make an argument. It wasn't even close.
Way to fit in the stereotype, Utah.
Jesus Christ.
Their owner was trying to change the narrative this weekend. It ain't going to happen. Not just yet. Maybe the next 30 years.
The Afro Beats halftime show was a nice step in the right direction.
This might be better with retired players. But I'm thinking, imagine KG, Paul Pierce, T-Mac, Ray Allen, Vince Carter, all a roast battle. Just an NBA roast. Like a banquet the night before. I mean, it could be with current players, but I feel like they'd be too sensitive. But hosted by Drake as well.
I think it should be hosted by Shaq.
Hosted by Shaq, too.
But don't have, we love the comedians when they come in, but have the NBA players do the roasting. And if anything, have comedians write their jokes.
They can write
but
them.
let the NBA players do the roasting, because that's what'll be the most entertaining thing.
It'll be really easy to tell who wrote their jokes or not.
Right. I definitely hire Pete Davidson, though, to write my jokes.
Dane Cook for me. Okay. Next up, gather the worst free throw shooters in the league. The last person to make their free throw in front of the whole crowd is relegated to the G League for one game where they get to play point guard for all 48 minutes.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Because
so
if you're gonna get,
it would be Ben Simmons.
If you're going to get embarrassed, at least you get playing time.
I mean, it's going to be Ben Simmons, and not for nothing, that could be exactly what he needs. to be relegated for a game, go down there, drop a 40-point triple-double, and then come back to the Nets. Confidence on 10.
I like the pressure. Last to make.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
it'll
either
be him or his teammate Nico Claxton. They would never do it, but I like that one a lot.
This could be cool, at least for one or two iterations, just a layup contest. Get Kyrie Irving in there, get T-Jazz in there, get some WNBA players in there, even out the playing field. I want to see some trickeration. There's a lot of cool things you could do with layups. Yeah. T-Jazz is an artist.
I mean, Ja Morant should be in that too, because he's up there already. He can just turn his dunk into a layup and do some wild shit.
Imagine just rising all the way up and at the very last second. Yeah. The slow-mos would be nice on that.
Yeah, that would be cool. The layup contest instead of dunk contest, I think is great. It'd be a good way to, rejuvenate that shit, because Mac McClung did his thing. Shout out Mac McClung. But Jericho Sims, and he's a Knick, and I love you, my boy, but damn it, that was horrible.
I told Pierre this was going to happen before because I highly doubted his ability to put on a show. He has no showmanship or it factor DNA. He did the same dunk twice on his mentalist shit with the envelope.
Bro, the envelope, that was the most cringe shit I've seen in a while, because the dunk was the same one he did before, and then he went and grabbed the envelope that he accidentally ripped in fucking half. So when he showed the 50, it was a torn piece of paper.
It's hard to open an envelope cleanly, though.
Especially when you just did some bullshit that nobody reacted to, and you probably feel like a
The lack of reaction I did feel a little bad for.
He needed to come with something better than that.
New York Knicks did not show out at All-Star Weekend. And both very predictable outcomes as well.
I'm just confused why Obi Toppin didn't go back to try and...
Because he was part of a legendary bad contest.
He would have been 10 times better than Jericho
Sims can really sky, but he's an in-game dunker, and he's 7 feet tall, so it doesn't look the same.
Kenny Smith made a good point. Like, dudes who are that tall, dunks are less impressive.
100%.
You know what I mean? Because he jumped, when he jumped, not for nothing, his chin was above the rim.
He should have raised the hoop to 14 feet.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Dwight Howard did 12 feet, but I think Jericho Sims could get up higher than that, potentially.
Yeah.
But yeah, the New York did not have a good showing. But Kevin Huerter did worse than Julius Randle.
So happy you brought that up. Even though I said that Kevin Huerter was going to win, I really thought I thought Kevin Huerter was going to win, but then he absolutely shit the bed. I can't tell you how happy I was to know that Julius Randle wasn't in last place. I thought he was going to do what Kevin Huerter did. I thought he was going to score less than 10.
He wasn't far off, was he?
He had 13 or 14.
It's bad when he's attempting maybe in top 10 of three-pointers, and then he's, in the bottom 100 of percentage? So I'm not really a fan of that sort of productivity and efficiency from Julius Randle. It's really hard for me to root for his success. I don't know why.
You've always kind of had a little sore spot for
when
him.
we were at the game, he was death staring the referee the whole time.
Well, the referee was wild in that game.
A little bit, but you still don't do that. He ain't no superstar. It's only going to make things worse for the Knicks.
He's an all-star. Let my man cook.
Superstar.
Shout out Julius Randle. That's my boy. I don't care what you do out there. Keep hooping.
His son will not be better than him.
I love this reaction when his dad scored a 13.
But he was crying.
The camera panned to Julius Randle's son, and he was like, he looked stressed. He just started crying.
All right, next up. This would maybe be a Friday night, maybe before the celebrity game, because it's kind of rock bottom. Just NBA players gaming.
Oh.
It's either playing 2K or playing Call of Duty, literally streaming and playing each other.
Fortnite, yeah.
And you get them on the little headset, and they're talking trash back and forth. for lots of money.
Yeah, everything has to be for lots of money
Or
because that's how we get them to care.
Or they might play Nadia in Call of Duty.
Nadia.
Prove she's a phony.
Is she cheating, bro?
Ooh, what about FaZe versus NBA stars? They already work together kind of hand in hand.
I mean,
you
they
don't
would-
want to see Adapt versus Anthony Edwards?
Not really. I'd rather see the NBA players play against each other.
Yeah, me too.
Because they're so like the FaZe guys are. That's what they
too
do.
good.
They're gonna
They're
just
too good.
fucking shit on them. If I'm seeing guys who don't really play video games, like if I'm seeing 10 all-stars playing Fortnite against each other, not knowing what the hell they're doing and trying to kill each other and just like reacting, that shit would be hilarious.
I want to see them have some expertise, though. Don't you think they're probably nasty at games?
Well, some of them definitely are. Some of them are streamers.
All I'm saying, get the streamers in. I
Oh,
want the
yeah,
streamers,
yeah,
not
yeah.
the amateurs.
Yeah, we'll get the streamers in there, but we need star power, bro.
We could do a rookie bracket
So
too.
who's a streamer? We got Terrence Ross, Karl Anthony Towns,
I mean, Anthony Edwards plays games too.
Anthony Edwards plays video games.
Ben Simmons plays games too. They all game.
all right. Fair enough then.
So the NBA players have the cutest dogs in the world because they're rich and they can afford the best sitters, the best care, and the most elite and illustrious looking dogs. I'm thinking of Best in Show.
I was hoping you would say dog
So you can
show.
you can keep it on you can keep it in the actual NBA court, but just set it up like they do Best in Show. Imagine Anthony Edwards running through the course with his
Prancing?
dog. Yeah. So I don't know. You get 4 or 5 guys, just a test run, and it's a
Yeah.
time trial. It's an obstacle course. Thoughts?
I love that. I think that's fucking hilarious. NBA players showcasing their dogs, prancing around with them, putting them through little obstacle courses and stuff like that.
Well, we could
None of
have-
them can do it.
We could have 2 things. We could have like a beauty show where they're just prancing around, and then we could have the obstacle course, which is the athleticism portion.
I want to see one of them do that shit where they jump off a platform and catch a fucking thing in the middle
The
of
water?
into a pool. Yeah.
I like that too. I mean, NBA players doing like a springboard dive like 30 feet in the air, like in the Olympics, that would be cool too. Literally doing anything but basketball, I would love to see.
NBA big man cannonball contest.
And that's genius. Like everything but the game actually is pretty great. Like I do love all the mini game skills, dunks, but we don't need a game. Let's go in the house of highlights mode. You got to gamify it somehow.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. That
Everything.
would be great. And it would just be more fun for the people at home rather than watching like some whack ass scrimmage.
I want to see someone try. I'm getting paid $20 million. I try for free.
But there has to be an incentive for them to win. They have to win some money.
NBA celebrity boxing would be great.
Ooh, who you think is that?
Get our best representative, train him, let him sit out the whole first half of the season, probably James Johnson, and train him to fight Jake Paul at halftime of the celebrity game. How good would that be?
I want to see the Morris twins box each other.
Whoa.
That would be
That would be-
crazy.
there's so many possibilities. Adam Silver, listen to us.
Yeah.
Last but not least, y'all need to switch up the damn venues. Just because they have an NBA team, you don't need to play it in that city. The NFL, they only go to tropical places. Last year we had Cleveland. This year we have Salt Lake City.
Next year, is
Indianapolis, are you out of your mind, bro? I don't give a shit if they have an NBA team. They should do the game in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah,
Anywhere.
bro,
They should go to
somewhere
Europe.
fine, go to Bahamas.
Mexico City would be fine because
Go
that
to
is
Puerto Rico.
anywhere where it could be a potential market as well. Puerto Rico's a good call.
Play outdoor game in Miami.
Or at least do it in New York.
Just do-
if it's
yeah.
going to be cold, nasty, just do it here so we don't have to go anywhere.
There's just so many places. I don't get how 3 years in a row, Cleveland, Salt Lake City, Indianapolis. 3 years in a row, just go to like 3 of the worst cities in the fucking country.
I don't know what y'all are trying to showcase here.
I don't understand that at all. I guess they're trying to like build those NBA markets in those cities. But bro,
This is something I was asking the people on the streets of Utah, but no one had a good answer for me.
I got a perfect answer for you.
Since the Jazz is the least appropriate name for Utah's NBA organization, what is a more fitting name for their team if they were to do a total rebrand?
The mountaintops, the peaks.
I was going to say the Rockies.
No, not the Rockies.
Fairly dud city, fairly dud game, overall electric weekend. Creator League game, you didn't watch or did you?
I didn't watch. I saw some highlights. I saw Cash was tight.
It was an hour-long slugfest. And also, every single person now calls the referee Chad Ochocinco. The referee of the Creator League looks exactly like Chad Ochocinco, so much so that I saw him out on Sunday or Monday from afar, and I swore on
And
my
you thought
life
it
it
was
was
him?
him until he came up to me. Cash and Bree versus Marcellus and Pika. First game was back and forth, but Bree took over.
I love Bree.
The
She's
second
great.
game, Marcellus and Pika were down huge, and Marcellus went on an 11-0 run of his own.
Oh.
And then the third game was back and forth. They were making most of the calls on Cash's team. Granted, every single time he gets into the paint, he does a 3 seconds, offensive fouls, and travels. So what are you supposed to do?
Cash also, like, I love Cash, bro, but he be hacking. And he needs to know that he be hacking.
So I'm saying.
Like, he
I
needs to,
know.
like, you can't not be aware of the fact that you're putting people on their ass. Like, they're going to call that.
And Marcellus, this team is so small they were
Yeah,
facing.
he's like the strongest guy in the league.
It was the most physical game I've ever seen. I had to MC it all by myself. It was
Sorry.
taking forever. But honestly, a pretty good finish.
Bro, I knew it. I feel like I said this to you before, maybe last week on the pod, but I said that Marcellus was going to show out in this game because of the fact that he shit the bed in the first game. And he was getting smoked in the comments and smoked by people on the internet about playing like that. I knew he was going to come into All-Star Weekend, especially with the crowd around him, and he was going to put on a show.
Yeah, in front of Celebrity Row, including Jenna Bandy, Lolo Fitzmo.
Who else?
Jake from State Farm.
Say less.
D. Friga.
Come on.
Metro Boomin performed. I doubt he was watching the game.
Yeah, I doubt he was there.
Zach TTG, we spent some time with him in the hotel lobby. Salt of the earth kind of guy.
Bro, there's few better than Zach TTG.
He also teamed up with Richard Jefferson to win a little 2-on-2
saw
Bose
that.
activation.
I saw that.
Richard Jefferson in the celebrity game.
Richard Jefferson's been hooping lately. What's up?
Did you see our interaction yesterday?
Yes, I did.
I felt so bad about that, and I swear on my life, I didn't mean it like that. I posted a video of DeMar DeRozan recognizing us at Media Day. Richard Jefferson commented, "How big were you smiling on a scale of 1 to 10?" And I was trying to roast him a little bit, but I meant to say not as big as, like, my smile wasn't as big as when I saw your bald ass head dunking in the celebrity game, because I did think it was really cool and amazing how athletic he was. But instead I just wrote, like, not as big as your bald ass head in the celebrity game.
Is that? I
So
thought
it was misconstrued and has like 20,000 likes on TikTok. And he made a reply video being like, "Damn, man, like all I asked was a question." And it was like, "But if you want to play in the celebrity game next year, like I'll gladly do it to you." But I mean, if that's the case, I would gladly get dunked on by Richard Jefferson in the celebrity game. But I did not mean to roast him that much. Just a little bit, because I did like seeing him play.
He don't care, bro.
I know he doesn't care.
Half his content is about how he's bald.
I know he doesn't care. And I don't care that he's bald at all. He looks great.
No, Richard Jefferson.
He looks better without
He's a mensch.
He
Good
looks
guy.
better without hair than he did with hair.
He had hair?
You don't remember him having hair in the Nets?
I guess I gotta see
Anyway,
a
I
picture.
know he doesn't care, but I did feel a little bad because I didn't mean to flame him like that. And when a comment has like 20,000 likes, people were,
Yeah, I mean, he made a reply video
Yeah.
to it. But I feel like he appreciates that. My man RJ's trying to get big on TikTok, so any little bit helps. But I think that's a hilarious comment. And it also was lit that he was out here dunking
like
in the-
he was really
in
killing
the
out
Celebrity
there.
All-Star game.
if he was in the big three, I think it would be a wrap.
He was still good, bro. Like, he was playing not that long ago.
I think he could still play today.
Yeah, I mean, most of these NBA players, like, unless they really let themselves go, they could hoop better than pretty much everyone that's not in the NBA until they're like 45, 50.
Fair enough.
I really think so.
Yeah, Richard Jefferson, I did not get to link with him. I'm trying to think of anyone I did see at Media Day. All these old school media reporters are pissing me off. They were asking the most boring questions in the world, bro.
Traditional media is
How do you
really boring.
To DeMar DeRozan, like, how do you prepare your body for playing 10 seasons? And then I'm asking, like, how many points would you score in a JV game?
Yeah, no, they definitely appreciate the more creative, funny questions, I'm sure, because they get all that boring shit from these bozos all the time.
So did you see the video I posted asking each NBA All-Star how many points they would score in a JV game?
Yes, I did.
What are your thoughts and reactions to everyone's comments? Should we go through one by one? Because I have it memorized.
Oh, you have it memorized, and go for it, because I remember too.
I don't really do I have it memorized?
You asked Jason Tatum first.
Jason Tatum was first. What do you say? 65, 70?
Yeah,
Which I think is a gross underestimate.
I mean, if he's going 50, 60%, he can get 55, 70 or 60, 70. But if he's going 100%, he's getting 100.
So I guess we're taking into account that he's not going 100%.
No way.
Okay, fair enough.
JV.
Second person was Zion. Also, it's funny asking these guys these questions because all of them were just in high school.
Yeah.
So Zion Williams said what? Said if he was trying 50, 60.
He was doing that when he was actually in high school. I imagine now that he's bigger, stronger, and better, he could probably do way more than that.
Pierre and I were talking. Zion Williamson, the way he carries himself is hilarious. He's like a super OG, but he's like 22. He was like Booger McFarland. He seems mad wise.
Yeah,
I
I
really
mean,
like him. I like
I
how he
love
carries
Zion.
himself. I love how he carries himself
Yeah,
too.
he seems like super fun, super
Happy-go-lucky.
Yeah, happy-go-lucky is a good way to describe it.
I asked John Morant how many points he thought he would score in a JV
That's a
game.
disrespectful question.
He said it was a very disrespectful question, and with that said, he'd probably score 100. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
Bro, I love Ja, bro. I love his game, and I think that he's great, and I respect somebody who has confidence. But this tough guy routine is weird to me. It's a weird era of his whatever he got going on, because that is not a disrespectful question.
It's a very stupid question.
It's a stupid question. It's a funny question. It's something that you can laugh at and just give an answer to. But someone who's constantly looking for disrespect, I feel like won't actually know how to handle it when it really is there.
I'm sorry for trying to think outside the box.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, you could sit there and like hear Brody's stupid ass ask you a question about about if you play a JV game, how many points would you score, and then think that that's disrespectful. What are you going to do when somebody actually steps to you and wants to slap the shit out of you?
What was he interpreting that as? I don't think you're good enough to play in the league. You should go back to JV, bro. Obviously not. You're one of the best players of all time, even if you're in the NBA at any level. Even Kwame Brown's one of the best players of all time.
Yeah.
Top 10,000. Jason Tatum recognized me, and I could tell from his reaction that he knew some stupid shit was about to come.
Of course.
And that's how you got. That's how a young star really is supposed to carry them. I might be a Boston fan.
Wait, whoa.
I mean, not a
Watch
Boston
your
fan, but
mouth.
I do really like him as a person.
Oh yeah, no, Jason. That's
And
the
a
thing.
father.
I say this all the time. If the Celtics were wearing any other jersey but Boston green, I would love that
They're
team.
a great team.
Because I would love Marcus Smart, one of my favorites. Jaylen Brown, great. Jason Tatum, great. Al Horford, you kidding me? Platano Papi,
And he was in a Sierra music video.
of course, wearing that fucking Old Navy scarf. But I'm just saying, like, the Celtics are great as a team of individuals, but I just can't get down with the Boston Celtics.
Oh, and then when I asked that question to all the Europeans, everyone international is so humble or doesn't know what high school basketball is.
Yeah, I was gonna say Luka definitely didn't know what JV was.
Well, me and Katie I said just high school game, but he only played in academy. Like he played in Real Madrid academy since he was 12.
Right.
So he probably was like putting himself in those shoes saying, oh, 30 points because it's so hard to score then. Jokic said he doesn't know, but he just knows he'll play the right way. He looked miserable to be there.
I remember that.
Miserable.
Yeah, he probably hates that shit.
And Siakam was just like, I don't know, bro. Like, get the fuck out of my face.
Really?
I mean, no, I know he's a really nice guy. Just, he
mean,
didn't know he
bro,
didn't have
like,
an answer.
these
He
guys-
didn't play high school No, he did play high school basketball.
Yeah, he went to college here in the States, so he had to
I think he
play high
moved to
school
New York City, actually.
I don't know what it is, but all I'm saying is like when we get access to these dudes, we never know what kind of day they're having when we catch them. You know what I mean? So Pascal Siakam probably was just fed up with this bullshit, didn't want to have to answer dumb questions and just wanted to go home, and probably just, you know, shrugged you off a little bit. But then you catch somebody who's in a good mood and like there to answer questions, they'll give you a funny
I don't think he was
answer.
in a bad mood. I just genuinely don't think he knew.
Okay, well, you can go either way.
Kevin Huerter said 50. Jaren Jackson said 100 to 160.
I don't believe that. That's the one person who answered that question who I don't believe he can actually do that.
Tyrese Halliburton said Wilt numbers. De'Aaron Fox said at least 80. And that he never played a JV game in his life. Big flex. And I guess it's not that surprising.
It's not that surprising. He's always in the NBA.
It was
Probably
surprising.
played
Jaren
varsity
Jackson
in
played
7th
1
grade.
year of JV.
Well, that makes sense to me.
And Donovan Mitchell said no.
He's a stat patter.
He ain't, but his statistician is. And Donovan Mitchell said, no disrespect to anyone on JV, keep grinding. Really like Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, yeah, of
He
course.
handled the Utah media with
Oh, that's what I
class.
wanted to say. That's what I wanted to say because if John Moran is saying that first of all, I coached JV basketball for 5 years. And while none of my boys were going to the NBA, like not even close, but what kind of message is John Moran saying or sending to the young basketball players who are playing JV that is like JV is not even worth it? Like it's disrespectful. That's a stupid thing to do. You got to play JV to get to varsity in order to get to the level that he's at.
the NBA
Show some respect to the young hoopers.
The NBA cares, but John Morant does not. That should be our new slogan.
That ass.
Step up. You know, Sam, are there any other notes from All-Star Weekend?
No.
was
I'm
that-
sorry I missed it.
That list of suggestions was crazy.
I mean, yeah, that was nuts. I think a lot of those things could be really good, and some of them are very unrealistic. But if they did implement them, cut the check.
What was the most realistic one? Maybe just War of the Worlds
War of the Worlds.
or Old Heads, Young Bucks?
And those are the two that I think, if were actually implemented, would be a major success.
Okay, Deuce. Fair enough. Okay, let's move on from the NBA. Let's go to
Yeah,
NFL.
I'm sorry.
NFL quarterback free agency is a frenzy right now.
Oh, yeah.
But we're tragic New York Jets fans. So we have our option of 3 quarterbacks. Who would you want the most, and who do you think we're going to get? Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, definitely Lamar Jackson. I didn't even know he was an option.
I feel like he barely is.
Yeah, I don't think he's an
Well,
option.
no, he's
at
not
all.
trying to sign with the Ravens. I don't think he's going to be back with that team, but it
Yeah,
would
but
have
he
to
should
be a
go to
trade.
Atlanta or like somewhere. I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't seem like he would want to be in New York.
Who the hell would want to play for the New York Jets?
Where he from? I feel like he's a country boy.
He has to be. He went to Louisville, so I'm assuming somewhere in the South.
Yeah, so I don't think that
He looks like he's from Florida.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell he's from, but he just doesn't seem like he would be in New York. Aaron Rodgers to me is Derek Carr's good, but if we're gonna fucking go after one of these quarterbacks, might as well go for Aaron Rodgers and just go for it.
Yeah, I would say go for Aaron Rodgers, play out a few seasons because you don't want to be stuck with Derek Goche if he's just average.
Derek Goche, no,
I'd rather
thank you.
play a few seasons with Aaron Rodgers and get some stud quarterback, which is not. None of this is going to happen for the Jets.
Yeah, no, like I've said this before, I love greatness, and I want to see greatness. And if he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, come win one with the Jets.
When the best quarterback we've had was Chad Pennington, who legitimately has Uncle Rico arm. Not to say he wasn't super nice. I've never seen a quarterback with a worse arm.
Don't sleep on Mark Sanchez.
Chad Pennington was way better than Mark Sanchez.
I know. I just wanted to say Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez was super hot, and he had a couple of highlight plays on the wrong side of the
butt fumble.
play. The butt fumbles all time. I don't know if
butt fumble is incredible.
For
no one else could pull that off in NFL history.
For years, there was a pretty bad play. This play where they New England Patriot guy just threw the ball to the Raiders at the end of the game. You didn't see that play?
No, I never seen that.
It was like a trick play. They tried to win the game. It was tied at the end, and he just threw the ball all the way across the field to the other team who ran it into the end zone. Damn, you got to watch your highlights, bro.
I got to step my knowledge up.
But forever, the top play on SportsCenter was a player on Michigan getting their helmet popped off, and the bottom play was Mark Sanchez doing the butt fumble. So my two teams for like 2 years, they had to retire both plays at the end of every damn episode.
Yeah, you don't have good luck when it comes to teams at any level.
No,
you did go to a Final Four, so that was nice.
I think all my teams have made the finals, though. No, except for the Knicks.
Yeah, the Knicks.
And the Jets. The Jets made the conference championship, and the Knicks made the final in 99.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck out my face, ho.
All right, NBA, make sure you listen to what we had to say about the All-Star game for next year because we need it to be more special. But thank you for tuning in. We are the Broadcast Boys. Tune in next week. Make sure you like and subscribe because like I said before, what the hell are you doing otherwise? All love, top to bottom. You already know what it is. Peace.